New Year, family. First, let's start off by saying that 2015 was an amazing year for us here at Brownstone, and we couldn't have done it without you, so give yourselves a round of applause. This year is going to be no different, and we promise to stay committed to bringing you quality entertainment that both educates and uplifts. Which brings us to this week's guest to the block. Dorien Wilson is without a doubt one of the most recognizable faces on television in the last decade and a half. From appearances on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Sister Sister to starring roles on Good Behavior, The Parkers, Bella and the Bulldogs, and his new hit show on Bounce TV and The Cut, Dorien has brought laughter and heart to our lives for years. So we're honored that he shared some of his hectic schedule with us and can't wait for you to hear his journey. So without any more delays, let's go. I guess let's start at the beginning. How did you decide that acting was your future? Where you're from? How did you get to it?
Well, my dad was in the Air Force, so we did a lot of traveling around. I settled down in California, though, and I knew this is what I wanted to do when I was a young kid. Like in sixth grade, I put on magic shows and like little theater productions in my bedroom, and would charge my family like a quarter to come in to check me out. And I sucked, but I was going to get that money. But anyway, so I got more serious, of course, when I went to high school, and I got accepted into Pacific Conservatory of Performing Arts. It was a training school where they had singing, dance, mime, voice every day. And then we would do a production, a full-on production, and in the evenings. And I graduated from there, became part of their corps of actors who you have to audition to actually get paid later. And
so it was sort of like Fame?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then from there went to the Bay Area, where I was with the California Theater Center for like 8 years, and it's a children's theater company. And I played for everything from tree stumps to Woodrow Wilson, not Woodrow Wilson, but I every kind of character was Slow Down, Slow Brown. We did a bunch of different children's theater, Princess and the Pea, Hansel and Gretel, Cinderella, and I was there for 8 years, man. And then finally, my wife was like, you know what? We need to move to the Bay Area. I mean, to L.A. Because I kept flying out here for different auditions and parts and what have you. And it just took off from here. I did the waiter bartender thing for like 6 months, and I landed a job on HBO Dream On, and I was a series regular. And I had no idea what that entailed or what I was doing, but I had a job for 6 years. And I did Sister at the same time that I was doing Dream On. I played Jackae's boyfriend on the show for 2 years. And that's kind of how my career started.
So the life of a series regular, because I would say Dream On was one of HBO's really kind of first episodic shows that caught on. How did that change what you were doing? You were no longer that bartender waiter. What's the transition like?
It was crazy, man. It was like I was so new to the game, and that show was like the original, the first like Sex in the City. But I was so new to the game that I didn't even know what was up. I was like, okay, great, I got a job, and then I got that first paycheck, and I was like, oh no, I got a job. Yeah, but everybody was saying, you could, I'm covering my shift and whatnot, because I really didn't realize what it entailed. but I was there, and it changed my life. It was like we filmed all of the shows and got them in the can, and then that summer it was released on HBO, and I replaced somebody on the show. And so Brian Benben, the lead actor on the show, said, "This is going to change your life. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, once the show starts airing, it's going to be, a whole different world for you." And sure enough, people recognize me on the street, and I'm like, wow, And I had a 2-year-old daughter. I just moved to LA. It was great. I did Living Single for 2 years. I was the Reverend on there, and had a recurring role over there. I had my own show called Good Behavior.
That's the one with Hensley.
Yep. And, I'm working with all these people that I grew up with watching, and just like, I cannot even believe this is happening to me. And I did several commercials in like long running commercials in between. Good Behavior, let's see what else was next. I think maybe the Parkers would be after that. Oh, Steve Harvey.
Okay.
I was Regina's friend on Steve Harvey for 2 years.
Speaking of the Parkers, did know going into the Parkers that it was going to end up being bigger than almost even Moesha?
Oh, absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. I was doing Steve Harvey, and Wendy Raquel Robinson, I played opposite of her, who is actually one of my best friends. She's from the game. But that's like my best friend. We've been boyfriend, girlfriend, husband and wife on like 7 different projects, and click. But anyway, I was doing that, and I auditioned for the Parkers. My role as Professor Ogilvy, and it was Ogletree at the time, and the guy did not want to relinquish his name, and so they went with Ogilvy. A lot of people don't know that, but it was a small role that was supposed to be reoccurring. And in that room, man, there was like 6 or 7 other brothers that all had a television show at one point or another. And we're talking a small role, but that's how competitive it was for black actors, and still is. But we were all vying for this reoccurring role. And they got down to me, Tommy Ford, and a couple other people. I can't remember everybody, but and I got it. And so when we first started doing the show, they didn't realize the chemistry between me and Monique, and started writing more for my character, and essentially became, a integral part of the Parkers.
Right.
And the rest is history. But we had such a great time on the show, man. It was unbelievable. It was like I was playing with my friends all day, and I still got a paycheck at the end of the day. You can't beat that.
I mean, I would always almost go so far as to say, without you, the show doesn't work. I mean, it was such a back and forth between you and Monique's character that was what people tuned in to see.
Yeah. That's what a great experience, man. And I've just been rolling ever since. So now I'm working on a Nickelodeon show called Bella and the Bulldogs, and it's on every Wednesday. We're like the #1 show on Nickelodeon. And this is our second year. We're doing 26 episodes. And then I just started my own show, which is called In the Cut. That stars myself and Jackée. And we're reunited, man, after like 20-some odd years. And it's not a spin-off or anything. It just happened to work out this way. And now we play ex-husband and wife we deal with each other because we have a barbershop and a beauty salon together. And so I have to get the booth rent and, mortgage and stuff every night or every month. And, and we go at each other all the time, but it's hilarious. It also stars, Ken Lawson, who was from the Parkers, and he played my son on the show. Long lost son that I didn't know I had, not by Jackée, but another young lady, and J.J. Jones, Jonathan Jones. He was the father on Smart Guy. Right. Plays my right hand in the barbershop. But it's a funny show, and it's on Bounce TV, and we'll do 26 episodes in January.
So how did that come about? How did you find that show? Was it something they brought to you, or you went out?
I worked with Bentley Evans years and years ago on Martin. He was one of those brothers that was just producing everything. But he did Martin, he did Jamie Foxx, and a bunch of other things. But we always had a rapport or a friendship, and just ran into him and said, "Hey, I have this idea. Would you be interested?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, yeah." And we put that together. He was one of those brothers that in this industry, it's so hard to meet genuine, sincere people that are hard workers and just good people. And he was one of those people that I always remember and has always offered me work. And so we connected, and that's kind of how it happened.
Tell me what a week in the life is.
Well, it's a bunch of juggling. It really is. It's like I just got finished doing a movie called The Mask. Everybody that was involved is Nigerian. And so they want to finish doing the movie in Nigeria. And the young lady that I play opposite of, Iyabo, she is this premier actress that is from Africa, from Nigeria. And apparently when she walks down the street, people are like, oh my God, it's Iyabo, and so I didn't know who she was at all. But it's crazy. He had posted a couple of pictures on Instagram of us doing this film, The Mask. And within 2 days, I have 1,000 new Instagram followers. But that's how big it was. But I say that I had to juggle that film in order to do both of the shows that I'm doing right now, In the Cut and Bella and the Bulldogs. And so they're going to have a premiere. I worked with the director that was from The Mask about a year ago on another project. And they wanted to fly me out to Nigeria to do the premiere, which would be the 4th of December. I can't get out of that. I'm filming on Bella and the Bulldogs, so I'm going to miss the premiere. It's that kind of thing nonstop. But I'd rather have that problem than, nobody calling.
Right, first world problem.
And so... But it's stuff like that is, I was so crushed, but, they have to wrap up their season. And I do get it, but, it's a bummer. But that's the day in the life for here, that just trying to juggle things. I have 2 plays that want to tour. One is Beauty Shop with Shelley Garrett, the original Jackée Harry, if you will, the godfather of theater, Shelley Garrett. And we're trying to work out the dates and whatnot. They want to go on the road for 3 months. There's no way I can do it. But I was, hoping I could double cast that role. And then another one is, I can't even remember the name of it right now, but just working out my schedule and trying to be able to do everything at the same time.
Now, I saw that you had done a one-man show as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that you have to create your own lanes now, or have you reached a point where things are being brought to you in enough volume where you're just having to turn work down?
You know, man, in order to keep this up, you do everything that you can, write, produce, trying to direct as well. And I constantly have to keep reinventing myself to stay relevant in this game, you know, and it's a challenge and it's a struggle, and, you know, I enjoy it, but, you know, there's so many people that are coming up that, you know, if you don't put yourself out there, you get forgotten. And so, yes, and that's exactly what I did with the one-man show. I wrote it and had someone direct me, Denise Dowse, and just to stay relevant, but it was my story. At the time, my mom had just passed, and I was spiraling, and the show was based on several different people going to counseling, trying to get their lives together because it was called Unringing the Bell, Unringing a Bell. And once the bell has been rung, you can't unring it. So it's life problems that you deal with, you shake it off, and you get on with it yourself. Because if you don't, it's going to consume you. And so that's what it was. And I was telling my story about how my mom passed and drinking and not working kind of got the best of me until I picked myself up.
So, looking at your IMDb page, you've got almost 9,000 things on there. Just to put a number on. You've worked in everything. What was your favorite role? What was it that you would, if you could go back and do it again, you would do it in a heartbeat?
It's so hard, man. I mean, I've done so many projects and things that I truly, truly love doing. Of course, the Parkers has been my all-time favorite. I love my new show in the cut right now, but guest starring on a role that was designed for me was Will Smith's show.
Juggles the Clown.
The Fresh Prince. Yeah, where I was the clown.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. That might be one of my favorite episodes of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air of all time.
But, man, I mean, it just came at a time that I super, super used on the show. I was going through a divorce, and Will brought me in his room, and he was going, it's going to get better, man. It's going to get better. And this role was designed for me, but it was just, so that would be definitely one of those that it always sticks out in my mind.
Well, it always sticks out in my mind, too. That was, without a doubt, one of the funniest things I have ever seen. I'm going to be wrapping up, but I always ask working actors, where does someone start? What if you say go get in the class and people go get in the class? Where do they need to start?
I used to teach acting 9 through 19-year-olds, and one of the things that I always instilled in them, and I truly, truly believe this, is you got to get your education, learn your craft, because if not, you're a flash in the pan. To be able to sustain and to do what I've been doing for X amount of years, you have to have training, because you can be in the right place at the right time and have the right look and somebody discovers you. But if you have no training to back it up, you're going to be a flash in the pan. So that big movie, that blockbuster that you're in, people are going to be like, oh, whatever happened to such and such, And the reason being, you are no longer around because you can't act. You know, you don't have anything to say. So, learning is part of it.